A letter, yes, a letter that is critical in some of the repairing of relationships. And today, huge meetings happening right here. Jeddah, which is on the Red Sea, it is in Saudi Arabia. And at the table, a U.S. delegation, Ukrainian delegation, and of course, MBS met with President Zelensky, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, yesterday. And the hope is that potentially a framework of even a ceasefire could be approached, and then obviously leading towards a peace deal. Ukraine did launch a drone attack against Russia, marking the largest of its kind since the start of the war. And we know in recent days, Russia has made inroads in Kursk. Let's bring in now Yuriy Sak. He's an advisor to the Minister of Strategic Industries of Ukraine. Such a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you and welcome into Newsline today.
Good afternoon, Bianca. Thank you for having me.
So there's a piece in The Guardian today by Yuriy Sak, the head of the Ukrainian presidential office. He is actually in the room right now in these high-stakes meeting and the talks. And one of the things he's talking about is conditions needed to determining a peace deal, which was also something President Zelensky mentioned in the Oval Office meeting. And I want to bring this up for the viewers to see. He says Ukraine must be given security guarantees that lend credibility to a future ceasefire. And he adds that Europe must act decisively to increase sanctions against Russia. Third, Europe should take control of the frozen assets to enable continued increased support for Ukraine. I mean, frankly, Europe's not at the table here today. So when you talk about security guarantees, credibility, I'll take that first piece to you, Yuri. What does that mean? Because security guarantees, according to our administration, was a minerals deal and monetary involvement in the long term with Ukraine.
Well, indeed, Bianca, there was a clause in that framework critical minerals deal that was addressing the issue of the importance of coupling the framework agreement on minerals with the wider architecture of security. And that wider architecture of security guarantees, that's actually needed to help implement that critical minerals deal, because no economic partnership is actually possible because no investor, no US investor will be willing to come to Ukraine if there will be a risk of Russia reinvading 2 weeks after that deal is signed. So this is why when we talk about these security guarantees, we primarily want that deal to work. Now, I would like also to mention this. When the invasion occurred, there were more than 20 large US companies operating in Ukraine in different parts, including those where Russia hit with missiles and drones and tanks and everything. So, you know, unfortunately and tragically, we have a bad history of dealing with Russia, and they just...
That is clear and that is understood. But moving forward, I guess, is there any hope, do you think, for these talks today moving forward to get potential for a ceasefire? I know the security guarantees are something that you're pressing on, and obviously that's something that's being discussed. But do you think at the end of today, the outcome, blue sky, what do you think it could be?
Bianca, I would like to, first of all, use this opportunity again to thank the American president, the American Congress, and the American people for supporting Ukraine, because we still regard the US and the American people as our strategic partners, and we are deeply, deeply confident that what is happening in Ukraine is in the national interest of the United States of America as well. And I would like to add that we talk about the security guarantees. We never talk about the American boots on the ground. We never ask our partner, the United States of America, to deploy troops. Our other European partners could actually consider that. And actually, Donald Trump, we agree with him on this point entirely. He said it himself, that it is possible to envisage the deployment of European contingents if necessary. Now, going forward, yes.
Yes, no, that has been said about potential peacekeeping. And I think that is the question of what would be a red line, who would be the peacekeeping, and what is Russia willing and what's tenable for them as well. Obviously, the hope is everyone's at the table and discussions are moving forward. We know there's been incredible losses for the past 3 years of innocent lives. And we really appreciate your time today to get your perspective. Yuriy Sak, I appreciate this, and we'll be watching this closely today and continue to watch it. And I hope you come back. Thank you so much, sir.